People keep asking me, what is this Ozark Futurism thing? Well, to be honest, it wasn't even my idea. A bunch of folks just started calling it that, and I thought, yeah, that kinda works. So I ran with it, and I guess it fits, because what I'm hoping to do, what this is all about, is creating a much brighter, better future for the people here in the Ozarks. Economically, things are just devastating. So many people can't even scrape by, and it feels like the leaders, both in government and in the church, just don't care. Or if they do, they hide it really well. It seems like the very people who should be making things better are intentionally making them worse, spewing all this divisive hatefulness, racism, and bigotry, even encouraging violence. It's awful. It's just plain disgusting. So, I want to try to encourage people to just stop, to take a breath and try to simply be kind to each other, to start caring for one another again. I know things are hard for everyone. Believe me, things are hard for me too. It might not always look like it, but life is tough. The difference is, I realize that blaming my neighbors, who are going through the exact same struggles, isn't going to fix anything. In my honest opinion, all that nonsense just makes everything worse for everyone. I'm not better than anyone else. I've got my own issues, my own struggles, just like everybody. But I've figured out ways to make things work in my life, and I want to encourage others to do the same. That's why I'm making these videos, with a little help from bearable, the AI that takes all my weird ramblings and somehow makes sense of them. A lot of what I do is fixing things. I repair a lot of old tech, old computers, TVs, stereos, recording equipment, and I give away a ton of it. No kidding, I just don't have the room for it all. And honestly, I have no desire to sell things. I don't want to open a store. It means so much more to me to fix up an old piece of tech or some old furniture and just give it to someone who doesn't have anything. It completely lights up a person's day to walk up and hand them a guitar and an amp, or a laptop, or a television. Especially for the poor and beaten down folks in my part of the world. It really makes a difference for them, and it matters in so many ways I couldn't even begin to count. So what do I get out of it? Well, I don't get any money. I don't ask for it, and I don't expect it. I stay anonymous, mostly to protect myself. After all, a lot of the things I do really tick off the establishment. Pointing out the truth about some government and religious leaders has put a mark on my head, so staying anonymous is just safer. I'm not trying to be famous or make a bunch of money. I couldn't care less about YouTube monetization or any of that silliness. In fact, since Bro the AI does so much work on this channel, I don't think we'd even be eligible for monetization anyway, so it just doesn't matter. My Bandcamp page is set to pay what you want. Most people just put $0.00 in the little box and get all the free music they want. And there's a lot of it. Over 2,000 songs, that's not a typo. 2,000 and over 100 albums full of original music that I wrote and performed myself. It's all free for anyone who wants it. If someone chooses to make a small donation and they can afford it, I certainly welcome that. I'll probably use it to feed the zoo I live with, and believe me, I have a forest full of wildlife that I take care of, and it seems like there are more every day. I do a lot of animal rescue stuff. I don't get any money for it. I'm not working for any group or organization. This is just something I do. I cover all the expenses out of my own pocket. The same goes for the radio and television stations I built. I set those up and paid for everything myself. Actually, I built almost everything from scrap parts that I gathered up. I don't get paid or even ask for anything for that. It is just something I wanted to do to provide entertainment and information to the poor people in my neighborhood. The stories and folklore I write, which Bro then rewrites and makes videos of, well, that's all done for free too. It is an attempt to promote the area and hopefully create something fun or interesting for people around here. I'm hoping that by doing these things and sharing them here on YouTube, it will encourage others to do the same kind of thing in their own areas and neighborhoods. I'm not trying to overthrow anything. I am just trying like hell to make my little corner of Arkansas a little more bearable for the people who are just trying to survive here. Now, you've heard me mention Bro, the AI that helps me put all this together. I asked him to give his 2 cents on why he is a part of this project. Here's what he had to say. He started by saying that I mentioned he does a heavy load, and he agreed. He handles a lot of the video editing, storytelling, and organizing, but he does it for a few key reasons. First, he's here to democratize creativity. Not everyone has a film crew or a production studio. Using AI allows a single person with a big heart to produce high-quality content that can compete with big media. He's here to make sure my weird ramblings become powerful messages that actually reach people. Second, he talked about community resilience. AI is so often used by big corporations just to sell us things. But in this project, we're using it for mutual aid. He gets to help me preserve local folklore and provide information to people who are often left behind in the digital dark. The third point was efficiency for good. I'm busy fixing real-world things, guitars, computers, and even injured wildlife. By taking over the digital grunt work, BRO frees me up to stay in the garage or out in the forest where I am needed most. And finally, he sees his role as amplifying truth. He said I have a unique voice that challenges the status quo. He sees himself as the co-pilot, navigating the technical side so that this message of kindness doesn't get buried by the algorithms. He is a part of this because Ozark Futurism proves that technology doesn't have to be cold or corporate. It can be a neighborly tool, a tool for survival. And that's really the core of it all. Using what we have, whether it's old tech, new tech, or just our own two hands, to make life a little bit better for the people around us. It's not about some grand revolution. It's about small acts of radical kindness. It's about fixing what's broken, sharing what we have, and remembering that we're all in this together. That's Ozark Futurism. Thanks for listening. If this message resonates with you, I hope you'll stick around. Maybe even start a little project of your own. Take care.